Now, Meghan, peaceful under a tree, having a great time at home in California, just being peaceful and minding her own business, as she always does. But unfortunately, the fact that a mixed race woman married a white prince is too much for the rotter, who will never ever leave Meghan alone. Now, Dan Wooton, a member of the royal rotter, has just blamed Meghan for the poor, bad, disastrous Caribbean tour of Prince William and Kate Middleton. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I have to say about this is that I'm sickened. I'm sickened every single time that a black woman is being used as a scapegoat for the royal family's failures. It just makes me sick. It makes me sick and deeply hurtful. The same Dan Wooton, who wrote hundreds of hateful stories about Caroline Flack in The Sun leading up to her death, which were hastily deleted when she committed suicide, he gleefully continued to write vile stuff about others and accepted a huge fee to go and work at GB News in the UK. Now, members of the squad, one thing that I would like you all to know is this. Is the fact that this person, Dan Wooton, the level of abuse that he inflicts on Meghan is simply too much. He abuses Meghan every single opportunity that he gets. Abuses Meghan. You would think most of them, they commonly behave like as if Harry was stolen away from them. They will never accept the fact that their abusive tendency towards Harry's beloved wife Meghan, their abuse towards his unborn child Archie at the time, is the reason why Harry left the UK. Now, today, which brings me to the fact that I wanted today to talk about this, the fact that I have to differentiate the difference between criticism and abuse. We have to talk about that today. What is the definition of criticism? Now, criticism means the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. That's what is defined as criticism. The analysis and judgments of the merits and faults of a literary or artistic work. That's something different. Or, I like to repeat, the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults or mistakes. And I also want to talk about the difference between criticism and abuse. Abuse meaning is to use something to bad effect or for a bad person. Now, or misuse, or treat with cruelty or violence, especially regularly or repeatedly, someone else. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why am I saying this today? I'm saying this because I want you all to know one thing. What Harry and Meghan experience is not criticism. It's abuse. It's misogyny. And today you see that misogyny in broad daylight. You see it today. On this day, we see the misogyny on how suddenly a mixed race woman who was chased out of the country, bullied by these same people, the likes of Dan Wooton, constantly insulting Meghan. If I mentioned the words that he used to describe Meghan, I can tell you one thing. You wouldn't think that they even see Meghan as a human being, because in reality, this rotter, they don't see Meghan as a human being. And I'm not going to mention you those words because they are abusive words. And I'm not going to repeat those kinds of abusive words because the way he used to describe Meghan is basically abusive. It cannot be classified as criticism. It's because it isn't. It is not. Now, the Commonwealth is breaking up. Jamaica is leaving. Barbados already left the monarchy. And it is because of the years of slavery, of what happened during slavery, the oppression that the British royal family, the monarchy, had a part in the oppression of black people who look like me, basically. They treated them so badly. They were whipped, they were lashed, they were killed. No human rights was extended to people of color. To that effect, we now have basically racism, an extension of what happened during slavery. The pains, the consequences of mistreating black people are right here today with us. And even now, from a member of the Rocher, working again, Meghan peacefully living her life, William and Kate going on a Commonwealth tour PR trip and suddenly making a disaster out of it by their own personal actions. You've already seen the pictures of Kate getting children from a fence, reminding all of us, people of color, how black people were put inside cages, how black people were put in human zoos. The pain we are being reminded of what we experienced. William and Kate did that. And some even asked, why would they think that this was a good look? Because it wasn't. It was a very bad look that hurt people of color like me, black people like me, to the core. And that's why people were outraged. Jamaica now wants their independence, and they want it right now. They've even set a date for their independence. And suddenly, they're blaming Meghan because of a failed PR trip by William and Kate Middleton. But what I'm thankful about is the fact that the likes of Dr. Shola have all come up in Meghan's defense after every single thing that has been happening, like them attempting to blame their failures onto Meghan. Now, Dr. Shola tweeted this and said this, and I quote, Meghan Markle is not to blame for Prince William and Kate Middleton's failed royal tour Caribbean tour. For demands of apology and reparation owed to Jamaica or the Bahamas, or for the British monarchy being steeped in racism, oppression, and exploitation of black people to date, and that Dan Wooton is a liar, because truly he is. Now, people have even said that I love Dr. Shola. She tells them nothing but facts, as always, holding people accountable. Of course, the royals need to apologize for their part. Their history is written in slavery. And it's not okay. It's not okay what they're attempting to scapegoat Meghan again. It is not okay, and we won't let it slide. And I'm thankful for people going out on Twitter to comment about this and say, no. You're not going to use Meghan as a scapegoat. People have said, no, not anymore. No using Meghan as a scapegoat like you're so used to using her as a scapegoat. Now, a Sussex supporter said this, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is a real person. She's a real living and breathing human being. She is not a whipping post. She's not a doormat. She is not a scapegoat. She is a wife, a daughter to Doria Ragland, a mother, and a friend. And people need to be reminded of this. She is a human being. And the reason why all this country, Jamaica, Barbados, are all teaching the monarchy is because even up to now, the monarchy is still the definition of a white supremacist institution, and it is representing that white supremacy, and every single person knows that from all across the world. I mean, they kicked out and chased out the only mixed-race black woman to ever marry into the royal family. They bullied her out while she was pregnant with no sympathy or mercy. They never showed her any form of mercy whatsoever. No sympathy was ever shown to Meghan, even while she was pregnant with Archie. But yet, at the same time, when Meghan gave birth, the same photographers, the same members of the Rocher were so angry because apparently they weren't told the right time in which Meghan was giving birth. When they arrived, Meghan had already given birth. We've heard some of them becoming upset. We've heard their comments. We've heard them talking about it in documentaries, how angry they were. But my question is, why are you angry that the woman you have been bullying and abusing while she was pregnant, to the point that she had suicidal thoughts, didn't invite you or even give you a phone call to tell you that she was giving birth to a son with whom you were so happy, members of the Rota were so happy, to racially abuse at just a few hours old, or have questions about how exotic DNA that Meghan was bringing into the royal family? We've had those racist comments. We've had them. They're right there. And UK tabloids were so happy to gleefully post and paint that. They were so happy to showcase it. Members of the squad, one thing that I also wanted to say is the fact that Dan Wooton himself openly went on national TV, on his talk radio, and said that members of the royal family were actively leaking information against Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. He said that in talk radio, that all those defamatory articles coming out against Meghan and Harry were all coming from within the royal family. He said, hey, look, don't blame it on racism. Don't say that it's racism when clear as day and night it is. It has always been racism. It's been as clear as night and day that it has always been racism. The treatment of Meghan has always been about racism. They've never been able to stand the fact that the white prince, whom after Princess Diana died, they labeled the new Diana. Do you know that, by the way? Do you know that, members of the squad? I talked about this in previous podcasts. That yes, after Princess Diana died, members of the Rota immediately called Prince Harry the new Diana. After chasing his mother, his mommy, Princess Diana, the late Princess Diana, to death, then the new target was Prince Harry now. That was their new target. And today now, as we speak right now, they are continuing to abuse his beloved wife, Meghan. And we are not going to stand for it. We are not going to stand for it. We won't stand for it. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the people across Twitter, all of them, seeing this as what it is. The attempt at scapegoating Meghan, the racism that is inside of it. And it's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. Now, a person called Malo Stan on Twitter said that, how is this Meghan's fault? The UK tabloids will literally blame anything on this woman. And those are facts. Facts. They blame every single thing on Meghan, and they're even targeting the squad, because by right now, they had hoped that the squad would abandon Meghan. They've been working hard, the Rota has been working hard to dismantle Meghan and Harry's support system, because their aim has always been to destroy Harry and Meghan's marriage and make Harry abandon his wife and child and come back to the UK to follow William and Kate around and marry a white woman. That they've been open about it. Even Piers Morgan himself talked about it and said that Harry should leave his wife Meghan, and come back to the UK, rejoin the military, and marry a dim white conservative blonde. Those are Piers Morgan's own words whenever he writes those articles of his. And I saw those words. I saw them with my own two eyes. I saw them. They could not hide what they feel about Meghan. They could not hide it. And it is steeped in racism, and let nobody ever deny to you what it is and has always been. It has always been racism. Always, 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 and always. And they're trying so hard to dismantle Meghan and Harry's support system. Us, members of the squad, they fear us. They fear the power that we have. They fear the fact that we are holding them to account over their actions towards Prince Harry and Meghan. The game of the UK tabloids is so obvious. And they know that we are a global community. Black, brown, white women and men are a part of this community or members of the squad. We may disagree even at times, but every single voice that each and every single one of us counts, and that we use it for good, and not allowing UK tabloids to continue getting away with the targeted harassment of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. The same level of harassment never seen before, ever since the days of Princess Diana, is what we are seeing right now with Meghan. The only difference is, at that time, there was no social media to defend Diana. There was no social media. There were simply tabloids writing their articles and inciting hate towards Princess Diana. At the day of Princess Diana's death, they were still abusing her. They even had to recall the newspaper articles, their newspapers, the day the Princess Diana died. They had to recall their newspapers, their magazines. They had to recall them because in that same day, they were already abusing her. Then when she died, it was all, will we ever find a new English Rose? Will we ever find anyone like Princess Diana ever again? I'd like to recall and remind you what I said about working for the members of the Rota entails. Number one, you have to be a racist for you to work for the Royal Rota. Number two, you have to be misogynistic. You have to blame it on the woman at all times. That's what we are seeing right now with what Dan Wooton is doing, which reminds me again of what I said to Chris Ship the other day before he blocked me. I asked him, what is the difference between the Taliban being misogynistic towards women and the UK tabloids being misogynistic towards Meghan? And I got blocked for it. And I wish I could just send this to him. I wish, but unfortunately he blocked me. I'll have to open another account so I can send a message to him again. What do you see right now of UK tabloids attempting to use Meghan as their personal scapegoat, to scapegoat Meghan and continue to being misogynistic towards Meghan, blaming her because the Cambridges, because Kate Middleton was seen on live video, I repeat, live video, rejecting a black woman trying to grab her hand and leading her to a different direction. She couldn't stand the fact that a black woman was trying to touch her. It gives me the how she responded when LeBron James put his hands around her. Just a friendly touch. She can't stand the fact that black people can even come close to her. She can't stand. And yet Prince William will gleefully go and say, hey, we are very much not a racist royal family. Prince William's words. And the things that we keep on seeing are just sickening. They are just sickening. I just have to be frank with all of you. They are just sickening. However, I'm glad at the fact that, Meghan peacefully living her life, having a good time in America, in California, back to her home in California. As UK tabloids told her to go back to America, now she's back in America. Peacefully living her time, having her good time at her home in California, and all of a sudden, she's trending worldwide. She's trending worldwide. And people have come out to her defense because UK tabloids are attempting to use Meghan as a scapegoat again to cover for Prince William and Kate's disastrous tour. Disastrous. The fact that they even went there when people didn't even want them to come there has accelerated the need for Jamaica to be independent. I'll even be reading to you what they said about Jamaica's independence shortly. Kindly stay tuned. Now, but first I wanted to show you to read you the responses by people. Someone called Natasha Devon, who works at LBC Radio, said this about this Dan Wooton's article. Say this: maybe Jamaicans did see how a black woman was welcomed into the family with relentless British media, racism, and royal silence. Maybe that does have a tiny bearing on what's happening. But blaming Meghan, that's willfully disingenuous and just all around appalling, really. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Natasha Devon, who tweeted those words that I'm reading to you right now. Now, someone said Queen Bey called Queen Bey said this. I am not surprised about some black Brits attacking Meghan. I've had this conversation over and over with some of my sisters. I've worked with some who will even team up with the racist to attack another black person. There are those who love being the only black person in the room that apparently toes the racist line. And, it's very, very sad, to be honest with you, on what Queen Bey said. I've seen some people of color, black people, who have YouTube channels dedicated to inciting hate towards Meghan. It's like shooting yourself in the foot. Do you honestly believe that the so-called members of the Rotter care about you? Do you think that they care about people who look like me, black people like me? They don't care. They don't care. You saw what they did to Meghan. You may revel in the amount of money you make from inciting hate towards Meghan, but in reality, it may come back to haunt you. Because these people, they don't care about us. You see how Kate responds when she's next to black people. The fear that she has. You think that she's afraid of catching something. You won't catch any disease by touching a black man, Kate Middleton. This is a message I'm sending to Kate Middleton. You won't touch anything. And to those channels that have dedicated their time to inciting hate towards Meghan, just look at how Kate Middleton treats black people. And you yourself will find the answer. That is how they view us. That is how they view us. They don't view us as human beings. Look at what's happening all over Europe right now. Look at the racist words shown by the media of how this war currently is about Europeans right now, about European refugees being welcomed because they have blue eyes. We've heard those talk, and how they treat black people. I've even heard the fact that black people who are actually students in Ukraine were being detained in immigration offices while white Europeans were allowed to go and walk around freely. Those things really hurt me. They hurt me as a black person. They hurt me. Whenever I hear about it, it really hurts. It really hurts as a human being, because I am a human being. No matter how the others think of me or whenever they see me, they don't see me as a human being. The likes of the royal family, the farm, they may not look at me and see a human being, but I am a human being. I have feelings, I have emotions. I feel pain like anybody else. I feel the pain. And the fact that this is how we are constantly treated, it really, really hurts. Someone called Juliet said this. Is the fact that Meghan has been minding her business, peaceful under a tree, and now she's being held responsible for causing a revolution among Caribbean Commonwealth countries, her power, the power of Meghan. And clearly, Meghan is really, really powerful. Without Meghan, what were these people doing without Meghan? Really, honestly. Now, a person called Dib said this. Meghan is so powerful. She sits quietly with her family in the US, but is somehow mysteriously able to mind control citizens of a foreign country to push back against a history of colonialism and racist ideology. So the royal family, a British government, are not accountable for anything? Someone called Rebecca said this. My good sis Meghan is just minding her business in California with her husband and 2 kids. Yet, some members of the racist Rotter, are bringing Meghan up, even blaming her for the failure of the tour, and Jamaica wanting to part ways, forgetting the colonialism and even the Windrush scandal. Typical. #Meghan Markle. And it's getting really, really worse and worse for William and Kate. These British media darlings, William and Kate, have really, really messed up so bad that right now the Rotter has received a phone call. Find a way to blame Meghan for this. Find a way to blame Meghan for this. And now they're trying to do it. And it's not really working out. as they're intending it to, because people have finally opened their eyes. They have opened their eyes. Opened their eyes. And someone even called James Felton said this, that opinion columning, writing a column, an opinion column, must be so much easier when you start with the words hashtag I blame Meghan and work backwards from there. The whole world is seeing what's happening. The whole world sees it. The whole world sees it and is not buying into the British tabloid propaganda. And this brings me so much joy and happiness. I'm thankful and I'm encouraged by this. People are opening their eyes. Our words, this podcast, are reaching out to people and opening their eyes to what they see, what they're seeing. They're not going to allow a black woman to be blamed constantly because some monarchy with a history of colonialism and slavery, who actually practically chased out the mixed race woman in the royal family out with bullying and abuse to the point that she had suicidal thoughts. She had to leave that country. The whole world finally sees it, and the royal family cannot hide under scapegoating Meghan anymore. It's not working, it's not working, and it's not working. And for that, I'm thankful, because it's not working. The smear campaign is not working. It's failing miserably. Now, on to what I wanted to say about the Jamaican Prime Minister's words. Jamaican Prime Minister tells the royal couple, Prince William and Kate Middleton, that the island will seek independence. And Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness has told Prince William and Kate that the British Commonwealth intends to become fully independent in an unexpected announcement that comes as other countries consider cutting ties with the monarchy. Now, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness told Prince William and Kate on Wednesday that the British Commonwealth intends to become fully independent in an unexpected announcement that comes as other countries consider cutting ties with the monarchy. And he told them straight to their face while they were standing. But as I said, I'll believe it only when I see it happen. Holness also noted that there are unresolved issues, as he greeted Prince William and Kate in front of a media houses. Now, he said this, we are moving on, he said. We intend to fulfill our true ambitions and destiny as an independent, developed, prosperous country. The former British colony would become only the second Caribbean island to sever relations with Queen Elizabeth II in recent years, with Barbados doing so in November. Now, Prince William and Kate, who flanked Holness on either side when he made the announcement, did not immediately react except for only a couple of brief head nods. The announcement surprised many on the island of nearly 3 million people and unleashed a flurry of text messages and phone calls. And I quote, I did not know that the Prime Minister was going to say what he said today. I think it is a very important step forward, said Carla Golota, Director of Stand Up for Jamaica, a non-profit human rights organization that joined dozens of other groups and leaders in signing a recently published letter demanding an apology and reparations from Britain. Now, she said this, that her phone started buzzing just minutes after Holness made the announcement, which comes a day after Golota and others joined a protest held hours before the royal couple arrived in Jamaica on Tuesday as part of a week-long tour of Central America and the Caribbean organized at the behest of the Queen and that coincides with the 70th anniversary of her coronation. This visit has brought back to light that many Jamaicans are looking forward to Jamaica becoming a fully independent republic, she said, adding that the island has all the opportunities and potential to do so. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for independence for Jamaica. The time has come. The time has come for people to get back their country, Jamaica, to get back its country from the shackles of the monarchy with a history of slavery and oppression. It needs to eliminate and remove the monarchy far, far away. Remove the queen as the head of state. And I'm glad that they're doing just that. I'm glad and I'm encouraged, and it makes me so happy that people have lined up all across Twitter and here at Sasko Family TV on YouTube to defend Prince Harry and Meghan. It means the world. And this is how I'll end the podcast. Criticism and abuse are not the same thing. And we're not going to stand and watch as Meghan gets abused and the people doing it like Dan Wooton, members of Rota, Piers Morgan, get away with it. They won't get away with it. This is a different age. It's a different era. You may have gotten away with it with Princess Diana, but not this time. We won't allow you to get away with this. We won't, and we won't. We'll hold you accountable. You will not be racist in peace. That's a message to the Rotter, a message to the farm. You won't be racist in peace. We won't allow you to keep scapegoating Meghan. Not anymore. The world has opened their eyes to your practices, and we will hold you to account for your actions. Now, members of the squad, actually, and I'd just like to mention something quite small before I end. Actually, great news. Great news that just came in and is breaking news that just came in. Now, this is it. The podcast that Meghan is set to release very shortly from Spotify. And Spotify have released this information. Spotify and Actual Audio have announced that the first original podcast series, Archetypes, hosted by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, launching this summer. Archetypes will investigate the labels that try to hold women back and feature conversations with women and experts about how these typecasts shape narratives. Now, today, Spotify and Actual Audio, the audio first production company created by Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, announced Archetypes, Actual Audio's inaugural Spotify original podcast series set to launch this summer. In this groundbreaking series hosted by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Archetypes investigate the labels that try to hold women back. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, will speak with historians and experts to uncover the origin of these stereotypes and have uncensored conversations with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape narrative. In the audio teaser released today on Spotify, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, addresses the common stereotypes that have historically generalized women through the lens of popular culture and media. And I quote, "This is how we all talk about women. The words that raise our girls, and how the media reflects women back to us. But where do these stereotypes come from? And how do they keep showing up and defining our lives?" She also previews the types of guests that will be featured throughout the seasons. This is Archetypes, the podcast where we dissect, explore, and subvert the labels that try to hold women back. I'll have conversations with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape our narratives. And I'll talk to historians to understand how we even got here in the first place. Archetypes will mark the first podcast series as part of Spotify and Actual Audio's exclusive multi-year partnership. In partnering with Spotify, Actual Audio has committed to producing programming that uplifts and entertains audiences around the world, spotlights diverse perspectives and voices, and builds community through shared experiences, narratives, and values. Spotify and Actual Audio both value responsible stewardship of the audio landscape and, as explained recently, are committed to working closely to support transparency and strong principles of trust and safety. Archetypes will be produced by Actual Audio in partnership with Gimlet Media for Spotify and available for listeners around the world to stream for free. Exclusively on Spotify this summer, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Ben Browning, Actual's head of content, and Rebecca Sananes, Actual's head of audio, will serve as executive producers. Don Ostroff, Courtney Holt, and Julie McNamara will serve as executive producers for Spotify. The teaser was produced in partnership with Little Everywhere, a podcast production house led by Jane Marie. I can't wait. Archetypes, that will be beautiful. I can't wait for this. And family, I'll leave you right there. I'll end this podcast right here. Stay tuned to our next video. We cannot wait for this. And we will be joining Meghan on Spotify because I'm looking to open an account in Spotify to join Meghan over there. Love you, family, always and forever. Stay tuned to our next video. Love you. Hello and welcome back to Sasko Family TV. As I end this podcast, I'd like to thank you so much for watching our video. It means the absolute world to us. Kindly like, subscribe, and support our ever-growing family on YouTube. Kindly hit that like and subscribe button for daily and consistent content we post every single day. And it will mean the absolute world to us if you support our channel by liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below. If you wish to donate to our channel, kindly send to our PayPal email briankiputo95@gmail.com in our description box, or to our Netala account, also briankiputo95@gmail.com. Your support will mean the absolute world to us, with PayPal being the preferred option for this channel. Kindly stay tuned to our next video, and thank you so much to every single person that has ever supported our family. With so much love, stay tuned to our next video, and I'm hoping that you're having a great, fantastic day, and this podcast made you feel much better. Have a great day, family. Thank you.